Hello, I'm Simon Tofield, creator of Simon's Cat, and today I'm going to be drawing you the star of the show, the cat himself. So here we are, we start with two big round eyes, little tiny pupils. He has a tiny nose and a tiny little smile that makes him very cute. It gives him a kind of baby face. Then he has a big M-shaped line for his ears. And because he's a chubby little character, he's got quite fat little feet, chubby little paws. Little back leg and quite a big fat round tail. Put some ground on there. So there's his head and his ears. Now he has these little fat dumpy paws, but on the underside there's a little round circle, a little pad. That's very cat-like, and I like to put that into the animations whenever I can. And he's got a big fat fluffy tail. So he has little human hands when he needs them, when he picks up things and holds them. And there's his little pad there. We'll draw him in his classic pose now, as he's always begging for food. His eyes there. And we're going to give him a big, wide open mouth. Meow. There he is, pointing to his mouth there. Couple of little movement lines there. It shows that his arm's actually moving, he's pointing to his mouth. We give him his bowl as well, it's empty. So there you go. That's how I draw Simon's cat. I'm going to be drawing the kitten character for you. So with a kitten, again, always start with the eyes. He's quite similar to the cat in many ways. He's got the little nose and the little mouth and the big M-shaped ears, but it differs here. He's got great big fluffy chubby cheeks. He's based on Teddy, which is my latest little kitten, who's a long hair, so he's very fluffy, long-haired cat. And he's got a tiny little body because he's a little kitten. So he's got his little tiny back legs. And what makes him a kitten, apart from his huge head, is his tiny, tiny little tail. So here's another picture of him, his big eyes. The M shape for his ears. Huge fluffy cheeks. Very fluffy. Tiny little short legs. Quite big feet though, as kittens have. They grow into them, and his tiny little tail at the top points skyward when he's in a happy mood. Let's give him some ground so he's not floating. Let's draw him again. Great big eyes. His ears are going to go back this time because his mood's changed. He's a little bit more desperate. He doesn't look as happy now. He's pointing to his mouth. He wants some food. There he is. And then you can see the cat's here Cat's quite a bit bigger than the kitten. He doesn't really take too kindly to having the kitten turn up on his doorstep and start to steal all of his food and his favourite sunning places. Put some ground on there. So there you go, that's Hydra the kitten. Start with two big round eyes. And we're going to give him a great big sad frog face. So there you are, he looks like a big fat toad already. They have a little bump behind their eye, which is where all the poison is kept for their skin. But when you draw toads' feet, the legs always start off thinner and the leg gets fatter as it goes down towards the ground. That's a nice tip for drawing toads and frogs. So you can see there these legs splaying out. Great big fat throat. Can give him some bobbly warts on the back there. And his back leg, unlike a frog's, he's a little bit smaller. So there, give him some little bumps and dots on the back. So there we have a big fat toad. He doesn't look very happy, does he? Now if you were going to draw a frog, let's do the differences. So a frog is very similar to a toad. He's got the big sad mouth, but he's a little bit smoother. So he's got the big front mouth, and again with the legs that go inwards, and the fatter at the bottom than the top. It's a lot smoother. He's got no lumps or bumps, and his legs, back legs, are much bigger. I tend to put little stripes on the legs and little black marks. There you are. And you can see there differences between a frog and a toad. Hello, I'm Simon Tofield, creator of Simon's Cat, and today I'm going to be drawing tabby cats. We're going to start off drawing a normal cat, so we're going to do two big round eyes, the M-shaped ears, happy smile. And we're going to do him standing up this one, so you can see his pattern. His back goes like that. Give him a bit of a belly. Give him a bit of a fat cat, this one. And his tail's in the air because he's very happy. There you are, he's over the leg. But with tabbies, we're going to start by doing a little M shape above his eyes. And two thick black lines called mascara lines that join onto the cat's eyes. Now mackerel tabbies, like the name suggests, have long stripes like the mackerel. Let's put some there. And tabby cats always have stripy legs. So we're going to put some stripes on his legs. Now, also that goes up his tail, so I'm going to put some stripes going up the tail. And colour the end of the tail in black. And there you are. So that is a mackerel tabby. Another type of tabby cat is the spotted tabby. But rather than black stripes, he has lines of dots. My Maisie has a bit of spotted tabby now, I think, because she's got lots of spots on her back. And another type of tabby you can draw is the classic tabby. But it gets very interesting in the middle because instead of stripes, he has a big bullseye type pattern that swirls around. Little black tips on his ears as well. There he goes. So there you go, that's how I draw tabby cats. Hello, I'm Simon Sayfield, creator of Simon's Cats, and today I'm going to be drawing squirrels. Let's start with two big round eyes and a little rabbit nose, a little U-shaped nose, and unlike rabbits they have tiny little round ears but big pouchy fluffy cheeks. And they're quite bottle shaped, so the body's going to go down. I'm going to give him two little arms, little hands. Here's his little rodent feet, very similar to the hedgehog's feet, these. And of course what makes a squirrel is his great big fluffy tail. So there you are. Again, start with the eyes. Two little ears at the back of the head. Here's a little nose. His arms are stretched out in front of him. This little critter has just jumped from a tree. He's gliding down. He's got his great big tail behind him. Now let's do a different squirrel, and this one can be eating a nut. So again, two big round eyes, his little nose, but because he's eating, his mouth is going to be full, so we're going to give him a great big full cheek like that, and the other one's going to be full. So he's storing some nuts in his pouches there. And we're going to chomp away. Here's what he was eating. He's holding a big nut there. And we've got his little rodent feet. Big tail. Now, because he's crunching away, let's do some little bits of nut there. So there you go, that's how I draw squirrels. Hello, I'm Simon Sayfield, creator of Simon's Cat, and today I'm going to be drawing Simon. Right, so today I'm going to be drawing myself, me, playing with the cat. So Simon's one of those characters that is quite tricky to get right, and it's also a bit weird for me drawing myself. So there's my nose and a little bit of spiky hair. Now he's actually going to be quite happy today because the cat's doing as he's told, which he normally doesn't. So Simon's in a happy mood. He's got his shirt on, so he's got his little shirt collars there. And he's going to be kneeling down, so his arm is going down on the floor. So there's his arm, his fingers. Now he's quite tricky, Simon. Now his legs. Going to be behind him. And I always draw myself with socks on. I don't know why. He's always got his socks on, partly because I always walk around with my socks in the house, so it just comes naturally. In this hand, he's going to be holding a cat toy. There's the other leg there, and we put the other sock in there. So his thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4 little fingers, and there's a long cat toy stick he's got. Now the cat's here. He's looking up at the toy. He's got his little pupils. And he's having a whale of a time as well. So he's got a big open mouth, outstretched paw. And there he is. He's sitting there. There's his little pad. Might give him some little tiny claws as well in there, just to show he's playing, and some whiz lines, so he's having a lot of fun with that. And there's a little fluffy thing at the end. I'm going to put him on a little bit of ground. And there he is. And today I'm going to be drawing rabbits. Let's start, as always, with the big round eyes. You've probably gathered I draw all my drawings first with the big round eyes, so there they are. Now with the bunny, they have different noses to the cat, and they have a little U shape, then their little mouth. So if you look at here, the cat's got this little nose, but with the rabbit, it's a little U shape, and then his little mouth. So after the eyes, 2 big rabbit ears that come straight up from the eyes like that. These are very sweet to draw because they are quite simple. Little tiny feet. They're very cute, these rabbits. And a very simple little pear-shaped body, and the great big characteristic feet. Little fluffy tail. Another great big foot there. Put some ground on there. And there you are, there's one bunny. Let's do a bunny sitting down. So big eyes, little U-shaped nose. This one's going to be eating something, so I'll give him a big full fat cheek. And there's a little bit of lettuce coming out of his mouth there. And his ears are going to be folded back. So he's obviously enjoying that. Little leg there. Great big back foot. And there's his big fluffy tail at the back. Here's another little bunny sitting down. There's his ears. Little U-shaped mouth. I'm going to draw his top feet first. The underneath of his feet like this. And there's one. Got a little pad there, little feet here, little paws. Little pads there at the end of his big long feet. There's his other leg there. Put his little tail at the back. And there's his other leg. And there he is, sitting there looking very sweet and cute. A very simple way of doing a bunny is to do him facing away. So you just do the outline, then put the little tail on, just like that. That's a lovely little way to draw a bunny. And today I'm going to be drawing some mice. Start with some big round eyes, little pupils in there. They've got a long nose. Now 2 ears come out from behind the eyes. And the mice are quite cheeky. They're the ones that are always playing tricks on the poor old cat in the garden. They're like his arch enemies. Give him 2 little feet here. 2 little arms. It's a bit like the rabbit character, goes down into a pear shape with the little rodent feet, and you can see these are the same legs I give the hedgehog. So if you've mastered the hedgehog, you might find this a little bit easier to draw. There's his long tail, and put some little lines in there to show that a little mousy tail. Give him some ground. There's a house mouse for you. And let's draw another mouse over here. Now you can make different species of mice very easily. It starts off the same as the house mouse, but instead of these shaped ears, he has big round ears. And that makes him into a wood mouse. If I was colouring this, they have a lovely white belly with a lovely chestnut coloured coat. I love nature, and I'm always trying to get more sorts of characters and different species into the books. Big round tail, lots of little bits on. You can try another sort of mouse. So I do the big eyes first, and then the little nose goes at the front, and they have little tiny ears at the back of a long head. So they've got a slightly different shaped head. Now these are quite small but very cute all the same, and they live in the wheat fields, and they have these very long tails for gripping onto the wheat stems so they don't fall out when the wind's blowing. And that is a field mouse. And that's how I draw mice. And I'm going to be drawing Persian cats. Okay, so for the Persian cat, we're going to start with the two big round eyes, as we start all our drawings. The little Siamese cat nose and the little mouth. The Persian cats tend to have smaller ears, so we're going to have little tiny ears up there, and a big fluffy pair of cheeks. A bit like what you'd imagine Teddy to look like, the kitten, when he was grown up. So we're going to do two little legs, and these go down, these taper down into the feet, giving them a little bit of a chest. Now you've got a great big fluffy back. There's his little paw, and the Persians are known for their great big huge fluffy tails. So there's a great big tail there, curling round. Give him some ground. Now, Simon's cat knows a Persian cat very well, and that's Jazz, who lives next door. Now, Jazz is Simon's cat's arch enemy, really. So to draw Jazz, we draw him very similar to how we start Simon's cat. Little nose, although he's not very happy, this cat. And he's got great big fluffy chops. Spiky belly, paws go down, and little fluffy legs, spiky back, that looks like the long hair you see on the back, a little foot there, and he's got a great big fluffy tail. Now to make this Persian cat look like Jazz from the book, we've got to draw on some markings which are actually grey in the book, but he's got these little lines here, and his back has got a pattern on, so this is the pattern on his back. And to finish him off, to make him look very grumpy, we give him two little dark lines there on his eyes, give him a grumpy frown, and he's always arguing with my cat about territory. And there you go, that's how I draw Persian cats. Hello, I'm Simon Toefield, creator of Simon's Cat, and today I'm going to be drawing the dog. I'm going to start with two big round eyes. One slightly overlapping there. Now, this is a different animal, so he's got a very long dog-like nose, big smile. He's looking very alert. His ears have pricked up. Tongue lolling out. 1, 2, 3 little teeth. There's a little scruff on the back of the neck. A little medallion. Got a little chest that sticks out. It leads down to his little bony legs. Now, Jack Russells are very comical little dogs because they're so full of energy that they tend to shiver and shake when they're not doing much. And I always try to put that into my comics by putting little tiny shake lines like that. He's very excited, you can see he's shivering. He's obviously waiting for someone to throw a stick for him. Let's just put the stick in here. And some bite marks on the stick. And he's wagging his tail as well. Some little dots on his nose. A line down his tongue. The type of dog he is based on a Jack Russell, which is a very old English breed used for going down rabbit holes and such. So they're quite small, but they've got a fiery character. But this is little Oscar, who's my sister's dog, and he was a very lovable little creature and just loved the game all day long. So here's his little ball, and we can give him a little frisbee here as well, with a big chunk taking out of it, and little bits of scrap around. So there he is, there's Simon's sister's dog. And today I'm going to be drawing the hedgehog character for you. As always, start with the big round eyes. And I always know if a drawing's going to be good or not on those first two eyes, so sometimes if they're not right, I can go back and draw them again. And the hedgehog's got his spiny body, so I tend to draw that first. Big, round, pear-shaped body with little tiny arms and little rodent-like feet. Got a bit of a fat belly. Give him another little arm here. Now I'd give him another line of spines here, and this differentiates his soft belly, which has no spines on at all, and then on his back we just add lots of little dots and lines there for his prickles. And there you are. In the new book, Kitten Chaos, I've designed another character, another hedgehog, and her name is Daisy. And she came about by accident, really, as I was drawing a sketch about the two hedgehogs dressing up the kitten, and they're putting flowers all over him. And I gave her two flowers on top of her head, and I thought that looked so nice, like little bunches that a little girl would normally have. So she became a character called Daisy, funnily enough, and she's exactly the same as the line of prickles and the little dots there for the spines. Now the difference is, and the easy way to make a little girl is just to put little eyelashes on the eyes like that, and there you go, a whole new character now. Some of the other hedgehogs in the comic strip are the tiny baby hedgehogs, and they're again exactly the same, just a little bit smaller. A little flower for her there. So just by adding tiny little variations, you can give them all different characters. There you are, hedgehog family.